Good evening, I am April Singh Lama and these are the headlines of the hour. Nation gripped by protest with over 150 demonstrations nationwide. Teachers continue to protest since 27 days. Government response to Supreme Court after failing to create an environment for teachers to return to schools. Parliamentary subcommittee reports corruption in construction of Pokhara International Airport. Case of excess land acquisition surfaces at Gautam Buddha International Airport. Russian President Vladimir Putin declares 72-hour unilateral ceasefire in Ukraine. Moscow urges Kyiv to join the pause. And Nepal's national team gears up for Hong Kong Friendly and Asian Cup qualifier. Matt Ross announces 30-player squad for upcoming international fixtures. Welcome back. Protests and demonstrations occurring daily across the country are beginning to impact the police's regular operations. According to Central Police data, over 150 protests and demonstrations have occurred in the first 2 weeks of Nepalese month of Boisak, primarily in the Kathmandu Valley. The police's regular peace and security duties have been disrupted as resources are diverted to manage these protests. In Kathmandu alone, 28 protests were recorded in the first 13 days of the Nepalese month of Boisak. Ongoing daily protests by teachers and doctors continue in the capital, while sit-ins and processions are being held in Koshi and Madhes provinces. Additionally, there were 163 lockdowns in Bagmati province and 13 sit-ins in Karnali. The police report that other regular operations have also been impacted due to the focus on these daily events. Now, teachers have continued their protest in Kathmandu for the 27th consecutive day, calling for the enactment of the Education Act. The Confederation of Nepalese Teachers has led a month-long protest demanding the enactment of an education law to safeguard teachers' professional rights in line with a prior agreement with the government. Despite repeated appeals, the government has not addressed the demands, prompting warnings of intensified protest. Teachers have expressed frustration over the neglect of issues that could be resolved at the ministerial and cabinet levels. Former Prime Ministers Madhav Kumar Nepal and Chalanath Khanal visited the protest site at Bijuli Bazar today to show their support. The teachers' key demands include job security and fair remuneration for permanent, temporary, relief and child development center staff, school employees and former higher secondary teachers, as well as grade alignment, salary adjustment and the enactment of an education bill. They have declared they will not return to work until these demands are fulfilled. Cabinet meeting has been called this evening to discuss the way out. Members of Parliament have protested against the government's suppression of the teachers' movement. In today's meeting of the House of Representatives, lawmakers from both the ruling and opposition parties drew the government's attention, saying that it did not seem serious about fulfilling the demands of the teachers. In the House of Representatives meeting, opposition lawmakers questioned why the government was not serious about the demands of the teachers who have taken to the streets in protest. They demanded that the government fulfill the just and legitimate demands of the teachers and create an environment for the operation of schools.
भर्सना गर्न चाहन्छु, खेद प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु र घाइते शिक्षक तथा पत्रकारको स्वास्थ्य लाभको कामना गर्न चाहन्छु। सभामुख महोदय, संविधान निर्माणसँगै हामीले नयाँ ऐन बनाएर शिक्षालाई नयाँ दिशा दिनु पर्दथ्यो। आजको विकास, आजको देशको आवश्यकता, आजको विश्व बजारको माग र प्रतिस्पर्धा, आजको टेक्नोलोजीलाई प्रयोग गर्ने गरी शिक्षा ऐनलाई परिवर्तन गर्नु पर्थ्यो, पाठ्यक्रम परिवर्तन गर्नु पर्थ्यो, पाठ्यपुस्तक परिवर्तन गर्नु पर्थ्यो, तर त्यो भइरहेको छैन।
उहाँहरूको मागहरू न्यायोचित र गुणस्तर नखस्किने मागहरू तत्काल सरकारले सम्बोधन गर्नु पर्यो। यो शिक्षाको बजेट कति छ यो आएर सरकारले भन्नु पर्यो र शिक्षकहरूलाई पनि भन्नु पर्यो र पठन पाठनको वातावरण बनाउनु पर्यो। हाम्रो बच्चाहरूको पढ्ने अधिकार गुमिरहेको छ। सम्माननीय सभामुख महोदय, लोकतन्त्रको एउटा सुन्दर पक्ष भनेको यसमा फरक मत राख्न पाउने अभिव्यक्ति स्वतन्त्रता पनि हो। तर जुन प्रकारले यो राज्य अधिनायकवादतर्फ हिँडिरहेको हो कि जस्तो भान हुने किसिमले गइरहेछ, यो टाइरानी अफ मेजोरिटी अर्थात् यो बहुमतको यो अत्याचारको तर्फ त सरकार गइरहेको छैन। यसमा म गम्भीर ध्यान आकर्षण गराउन चाहन्छु।
शिक्षा ऐन दिएर शिक्षकहरूलाई विद्यालयमा पठाउने वातावरण तयार गरियोस् र आवासीय चिकित्सकहरूलाई उनीहरूको जायज माग पूरा गरेर अस्पतालमा पठाउने वातावरण चाहिँ तयार गरोस् यो सरकारले। म सभामुख मार्फतबाट म यो अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु।
Lawmakers from the ruling parties have also suggested that the government resolve the street protest that teachers have been continuing for almost 3 months through dialogue. They have also demanded that the government inform the House about the ongoing efforts for an agreement between the government and the protesting teachers.
यो अधिवेशनबाट टुङ्ग्याउने प्रक्रियामा छौं। सिंह संसद त्यसप्रति गम्भीर छ भन्ने अनुभूति सिंह देशले गर्ने गरी यो संसदमा शिक्षा मन्त्रीज्यूले पनि त्यस ढङ्गले विषयवस्तु राख्नुपर्छ। उहाँले यो संसद र यो संसद मार्फत सिंह देशलाई जानकारी गराउनुपर्छ।
गुरु आमा र गुरु बा पिटिएको देख्दाखेरि म साह्रै मर्माहित पनि भएको छु। यही हो त हाम्रो नेपाल सरकारले गर्न खोजेको यो सजाय शिक्षकहरूमाथि। यही हो त हाम्रो नीति बनाउन खोजेको, हामीले स्मार्ट नीति बनाउन खोजेको यही हो त। हामी यो सदनमा बसिरहेका सांसदहरूलाई पनि मेरो प्रश्न छ, हामी एक आपसमा खिसी ट्युरी मात्रै गर्ने, एक सांसदले अर्को सांसदलाई मात्रै दोष दिने? हामी त नीति बनाउन आएका हौँ, जनताका जनप्रतिनिधि हौँ, जनताका समस्याहरू हामीले बुलन्द आवाज निकाल्न यो सदनमा आएका हौँ, उपस्थित भएका हौँ। तर हाम्रो यो पार्लियामेन्ट नजिकै शिक्षक साथीहरू यत्रो महिनौँ दिनसम्म आन्दोलनमा हुनुहुन्छ।
The main opposition party and other opposition parties have also registered an urgent public importance motion demanding a discussion in the House regarding the demands of the teachers. Lawmakers also drew the attention of the House to the damage caused by the rains in various places. Now, the subcommittee under the Parliamentary Accounts Committee has submitted its study report on the construction of Pokhara Regional International Airport, along with individual dissenting opinions from its members. The committee's report highlights irregularities at various stages of the Pokhara International Airport construction, beginning with cost estimation. While over 10 billion Nepali rupees is suspected to have been misappropriated, Coordinator Rajendra Lingden stated that the relevant authorities will investigate the matter. He added that the committee has concluded that corruption occurred in certain policy and procedural aspects.
14 अरब को लागत एस्टिमेट लाई 22 अरब पुर्याइयो भनेको ठुलो अंकमा लागत एस्टिमेट बढाउने जुन काम भयो त्यसलाई हामीले भ्रष्टाचारको रूपमा अथवा अनियमितताको रूपमा औल्याएका छौं। त्यसलाई भ्रष्टाचार भनिन्छ कि, त्यसलाई अनियमितता भनिन्छ कि, त्यसलाई बेरुजु भनिन्छ कि, त्यो सम्बन्धित निकायले भनेको अख्तियारले अरु हेर्नुपर्ने सरकारको निकायले जहाँ हामी अब मूल समितिबाट सिफारिस गरेर पठाउँछौं त्यसले हेर्नुपर्ने विषय हो। तर हामीले त्रुटि औल्याइदियौं कि यहाँ त्रुटि देखियो।
UML lawmakers expressed concerns over procedural shortcomings and the absence of consultation with the relevant stakeholders, presenting differing views on the matter.
यो हिसाबले र त्यसमा संलग्न पक्षहरूको माथिको सोधपुछको प्रक्रियाको हिसाबले र भएका कागजपत्रहरूको पनि अनुसूचीहरू पनि उल्लेख गरेर जानुपर्ने कुराको हिसाबले चाहिँ अझै प्रतिवेदन अलिकति अधुरो छ भन्ने हिसाबले मलाई लाग्यो।
A total of 24 billion Nepali rupees was spent on the construction of Pokhara International Airport, which was completed and inaugurated in the Nepalese month of Push 2079 BS. The subcommittee investigating the project, led by Rajendra Lingden, includes members Arjun Narsingh Kesi, Gokul Prasad Baskota, Janardhan Sharma, Amanlal Modi, Prem Bahadur Ale, Tara Lama, Deepak Giri, Dev Prasad Timilsina, and Ram Krishna Yadav. Meanwhile, the subcommittee studying Bhairava Airport, completed and inaugurated in the Nepalese month of Jester 2079 BS at a cost of 30 billion Nepali rupees, has yet to submit its report. This subcommittee, led by UML lawmaker Yogesh Bhattarai, comprises lawmakers Amresh Kumar Singh, Manish Jha, Achyut Prasad Mainali, Bikram Pandey, Shyam Kumar Ghimire, Manju Khand, and Saraj Ahmad Faruqi. Due to significant state investment in both airports with limited returns, the Parliamentary Accounts Committee formed these subcommittees to investigate, monitor, and report on the projects. Now, a subcommittee of the Public Accounts Committee has revealed that nearly twice the required land was acquired for the construction of Gautam Buddha International Airport in Bhairawa. While over 10 billion Nepali rupees are reported to have been misappropriated during the construction of Pokhara International Airport, another subcommittee has found similar land acquisition issues at Gautam Buddha Airport. Despite spending 3 times the expected amount on compensation, the airport's operation remains uncertain due to the lack of essential technical equipment. The subcommittee has been unable to determine whether the excess land acquisition was driven by commercial interest, the influence of interest groups, or other factors. A total of 8.22 billion Nepali rupees was invested in the construction of Bhairawa International Airport, intended as an alternative to Tribhuvan International Airport. However, compensation for the land acquired for the project amounted to 3 times the construction cost, totaling 23 billion Nepali rupees. While 450 bighas of land were sufficient, 700 bighas were acquired. A subcommittee under the Accounts Committee of Parliament found that the land, for which significant compensation was paid, has not been developed with the necessary infrastructure. The report also highlighted several issues, including a lack of adequate studies prior to the airport's upgrade, the absence of a commercial action plan for its construction and operation, and challenges with air route permits. The subcommittee concluded that diplomatic efforts for route approval, including the instrument landing system, were insufficient and that the promotion of commercial flights was hindered by the absence of incentives to attract national and international airlines.
एयरपोर्ट बनाइदिएको छ, जग्गा अधिग्रहण गरेको छ, भवन बनाइदिएको छ, नेताको छोराहरूलाई ठेक्का दिएको छ, त्यो सबै गरेको छ, तर टायर पञ्चरको चाहिँ छैन हैन। सो त्यो व्यवस्थापकीय कमजोरी त्यो भयो, भवनमा तदर्थवाद हाबी भयो, जग्गा अधिग्रहणमा चाहिँ अनावश्यक खर्च गरेर अधिग्रहण गरेको त्यो 3 वटा पक्ष कमजोर पाए।
National flag carrier Nepal Airlines Corporation, along with Jazeera Airlines, Fly Dubai, Thai Air Asia, Qatar Airways and others initially operated flights from Bhairawa but suspended them shortly after due to the lack of a functional airport ecosystem. They identified issues with the visa center, labor office, passenger infrastructure and flight visibility as key challenges. A subcommittee under the Accounts Committee led by CPN-UML lawmaker Yogesh Bhattarai, former Minister for Tourism, during the airport's construction concluded that international flights will remain unfeasible unless the government develops a concrete action plan. However, the report remains incomplete. Bhattarai resigned from his position as coordinator on 21st of March following calls for his removal due to his prior role as Minister for Tourism. The subcommittee has yet to appoint a new coordinator.
सञ्चालनमा अहिले पनि कठिनाइ छ। अब केही विमानहरू बीचमा सञ्चालन गरियो, अलिकति फोर्सफुल्ली नै अलिकति बलपूर्वक नै सञ्चालन गर्ने कोसिस गरियो, तर त्यसले स्वाभाविक गति लिन सकेन। अब त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो विमानस्थल अहिले आवश्यकताको र औचित्यको चाहिँ विषयमा प्रश्न उठेको छ र आवश्यकता र औचित्य र सम्भाव्यताको अध्ययन नगरिकन राज्यको ठूलो लगानी गरियो भन्ने कुरा त त्यो त स्वाभाविकै छ।
Although the subcommittee raised concerns about the airport's operation, the government had already taken some initiatives, such as establishing a visa center and conducting health screenings for workers going abroad. However, due to the failure to implement these decisions, airlines have not resumed regular flights. The subcommittee now recommends that the government introduce a plan offering concessions and discounts to attract companies interested in developing Bhairawa International Airport as an alternative to Tribhuvan International Airport. It warns that if the airport remains non-operational, it will not only undermine the justification for acquiring property from 2,200 households, but also raise doubts about the state's investment. It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what is your take on the central bank marking its anniversary without a governor? 27% voted for A, an embarrassment. 35% voted for B, incapable government. And 38% voted for C, result of party politics. And yesterday's question, why does one feel compelled to take to the streets to voice the demands? Your options are A, government's failure to respond, B, influence of the crowd, or C, compulsion. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It is time now for a short break. We have more news coming up. Welcome back. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked in several provinces what types of projects should be prioritized during a provincial investment conference. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
यहीँको उत्पादनले यहीँको जनशक्तिलाई रोजगार सहित चाहिँ पूरा गर्ने खालको रोजगार दिने खालको
ऊर्जा पर्यटन र कृषि क्षेत्रमा रोजगारी सृजना गर्ने
महिला र युवाहरूलाई जोडेर व्यवसायिक रूपको एउटा योजना
कार्यकर्तामुखी मात्रै भएर योजना ल्याउनु भएन दीर्घकालीन योजना जसले चाहिँ प्रदेश सरकारको विकास होस्
कृषि उत्पादन र त्यसबाट रोजगारी हुने र यो उत्पादनको दृष्टिकोणले पनि व्यापक हुने मास स्केलमा उत्पादन हुने क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ लगानी गर्न सकोस्
सुदूरपश्चिम प्रदेशले लगानी सम्मेलनमा युवा मैत्रीमूलक योजनाहरू ल्याउनुपर्छ
लगानी सम्मेलनमा कर्णालीका लागि प्रत्यक्ष लाभ लिने खालका र यहाँको युवा जनशक्तिलाई चाहिँ यही रोजगार दिने खालका कार्यक्रमहरू ल्याउन चाहिँ आवश्यक छ
Sports News.
Nepal's preliminary squad for the upcoming friendly matches and Asian Cup qualifiers had been announced. Head coach Matt Ross has selected 30 players as confirmed by the All Nepal Football Association ANFA. Nepal is set to play a friendly match against Hong Kong during the upcoming FIFA window and will face Laos in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. The friendly against Hong Kong is scheduled for 5th of June at home, while the match against Laos will take place in Laos on 10th of June. Amrit Shrestha has been recalled to the squad, which is captained by Kiran Chamjang. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.